All right, good evening, everybody. 6 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. This was an event put on by Libertarian, Republican, and Democratic local committees. If you're not aware, if you have been here before, thank you guys for coming back. Appreciate everybody for being here tonight. It means a lot to all of us, especially your speakers tonight. Perfect opportunity for them to get out and get the chance to talk to everybody and answer some questions. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with Lincoln County Emergency Service Board. This is District 1 Director. First off, I have Stephen Fair. Stephen here.
I have not seen him walk in. So.
Okay. Next on my list is Linda Sullivan.
My name is.
Morgan's going to give you a hand.
Yeah. My name is Linda Sullivan. Good evening. I'm very glad to be here and thank you for the invite. I am a lifelong resident of Lincoln County. I am one of the incumbents for the Emergency Management Board. I was on the Emergency Management Committee, and we decided at that time the committee was under the commissioner and the county umbrella. We decided that we needed more facilities because we were in the old jail at that time. We also decided that we needed bigger facilities. So we decided to become our own entity, just like the ambulance and the fire and the county health department. So we started working on that. We got the entity taken care of, and all of us on our board worked on it. And at that time also, we needed money. So we went to you, the voters, and asked for a half-cent sales tax. And you very graciously voted it in. So with the money beginning to come in, we could start planning a new facility. We acquired the land in '23. We broke ground in May of '24. We completed the building in December the 1st of '25, and we had our ribbon cutting just a couple of weeks ago. We had the go-live date in the actual facility on, what was it? Anyway, it was last month, no, January. And I want you all to mark down on your calendars April the 10th, between 2 and 7, we're going to do an open house at the 911 so everybody can come in and see what a great facility that we, the members of the board, helped put together. We also had each dispatcher helping us, so we knew what they needed. So we tried to think of the needs of the county, and we tried to think of the needs of the dispatchers. So I hope you come and visit it. Two things. The building came in about a month and a half earlier than we had expected, our completion date. But the biggie was, we came in almost $1 million under budget without sacrificing anything that we needed. So we felt that was really good. I enjoy being on the board. I've learned a lot from the board. We also meet fairly regularly with some of the sheriff's department, the ambulance department, the fire department. So I've learned a lot from them. We have a very cohesive board, and we are nonpartisan, and none of us are paid. We do it because we all love Lincoln County. I've been out and gone to college. I came back here to stay because this is my home forever. So I truly have the needs of the emergency management at heart. So I would really appreciate your consideration on April the 7th. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Next, we have Lincoln County Emergency Service District 2 Director. I have Dean Rika. I'm gonna butcher some names too, by the way, guys.
I'm glad this is nonpartisan. I have my own politics, however, I think all of the jobs in the county should be nonpartisan. We serve the county, not the Democrats or the Republicans. We serve the people of the county, so they should be my idea. Politics, it says here, it's a noun from the Greek poly, meaning many, and ticks meaning blood-sucking creatures. So here we go with the politics. As he said, my name is Dean Rika. I live here in Lincoln County for the last 28 years. We are a family with 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys, 15 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I have a BS from Lindenwood, thanks to the government veterans bill. Went back to school on a VA. I hold an FAA private pilot certificate as well as an aircraft and engine technician certificate. I maintain my own airplane. Been flying since I was about 16 years old, quite a few years. I'm a member of the Lions Club in O'Fallon and the American Legion here in Troy. I'm a union man. I held a union job as trainer for the AMFA Aircraft Union during my entire working career at Ozark Airlines. In the lean times, I sold vacuum cleaners and water softeners to make enough money to get my family by, and we got by. I sat on the board of St. Charles Master School Board back in the 70s before St. Charles granted a first-class status. I did 2 terms pleading for a junior college district all the time I was there, and a year after I got out, they voted in a junior college district, and now we have a junior college in St. Charles County. My neighbor and I and my lovely wife introduced the first clean water bill, and it was passed in 1973 by George Dames, and it's in the Constitution if you'd like to look it up. And I thought that was really easy. We had everybody cooperate, everybody wanted it. Lake St. Louis was being built, and they were going to run their sewer water down into the creek we fished in. Neighbor come by and told me that. I said, they can't do that. He said, yeah, they can do that. I said, they can't do that. He said, yeah, they can do it and no law against it. I said, let's write a law against it. And voila. It took the last of the year. They couldn't get it on the agenda, so the first of next year, 1972, they got it on the agenda, and it passed overwhelmingly. So if you want to do something, get in there and do it. It works. Well, it used to work anyway. I guess it still does. I will make every effort to do what I can do to help the county if I'm elected. The problem with political jokes is they get elected. So, men get laid, women get screwed. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Next up, we have Lincoln County Health Center trustee, 4-year term. I have Janet Maloney.
Hello, my name is Janet Maloney. I am running for the Lincoln County Health Department Board, And I am a, let's see now, 17-year resident of Lincoln County. I moved here when I met my late husband, and I've loved it here. I'm retired now. I'm a retired firefighter and medic. I used to work for the city of Richmond Heights. And I have 2 kids, and so having been a paramedic for my entire career, I kind of have a little bit of knowledge about healthcare. It's something I'm very interested in, and I'd like to serve my community now that I'm retired, and so I am running for the health department board. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm just asking for your vote, and thank you.
Thank you, Janet. I got Joanna Rica.
I bring in my paper in case I forget who I am. But I'm Joan Rica, the wife of Mr. Funny over there. So we have the same children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. But I'm running for the Lincoln County Health Department trustee. I've been a resident of Lincoln County for 28 years. I am a medical professional. I started my career going to school at St. Mary's down in O'Fallon. Got my associate and my RN degree there. Later on, I went to St. Louis University and finished my bachelor's degree in nursing. Went to work at DePaul down in Bridgeton. Worked in the cardiovascular thoracic surgery department, and we did all procedures there, starting from simple cardioversions to heart transplants. That was a learning time, believe me. Later we started doing renal transplant also, so we became a transplant department. Later, after resting up from that job, I started working here at the Lincoln County Medical Center before it became Mercy. I was in the ambulatory surgery there. That was a great job. No weekends, no holidays, and all the patients went home every night. Anyway, I'm retired now, but I still keep my nursing license active. So, because I'm retired, I hope to give back something to the community. Our health department here in Lincoln County is crown jewel of this county. What they do for the county is immeasurable. They're wonderful, dedicated people, professionals, and they just give excellent, kind care. I can see that in the future, near future, that we're going to need a lot more health care like that. Not only for the near future, but for the coming generations. And healthcare is my passion because I have all of these children. Anyway, if elected, I plan to serve without political or religious bias or any of those other biases that we all hear about nowadays. So thank you for having me, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanne. Next, we have Elizabeth Neven.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Niven, and I'm running for the open position at the Lincoln County Health Department. I'm excited about this opportunity, would like to serve our community. I've been a long time resident of Lincoln County, 28 years too, which puts me just north of newbie status in Lincoln County, I realize. I'm very interested in Lincoln County Public Health, particularly in helping our residents have access to expanded healthcare programs and services. I spent most of my career working in St. Louis, so I only got to see Troy on the weekends on Saturday at Walmart with everybody else. So it's pretty crowded. But anyway, in 2009, I had the opportunity to spend time closer to the community, and during that time, I served on the LACOA board, I started the Children's Hawk Point Community Library, which was actually housed in People's Bank, Hawk Point, for 10 years. And I published a free newspaper called Around Town. During this time, I also did project work for Monsanto, which is now Bayer, and the Missouri Department of Conservation. In 2013, I went back to St. Louis to work for Washington University as a fundraiser, where I remained for 5 years. I then went on to do estate plan giving for the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, and then later I did the same position for the University of Missouri St. Louis. And folks, I'm now back. Since fall of 2024, I'm working again as a consultant on various projects, including a large capital campaign for a not-for-profit. I can work at home. I'm no longer driving 10 hours a week, not a day. And I would like to lend my skills back to the community. And I hope that answers your question that we all ask our candidates, which is why you and why now? I have many opportunities to continue positive improvements in programs at the Lincoln County Department of Health. And I look forward to bringing my skills, specifically program building, marketing, to this important agency. I think that we've all established it's a really important agency. So I would appreciate your support and your vote on April 7th, Elizabeth Niven. Thanks.
Thank you, Elizabeth. For Lincoln County Health Center trustee, we have Candy first.
Thanks. Hi there. Hello there. I too am running for one of the seats on the Lincoln County Health Center. 3 of them are for a 4-year term, and that's what Joan and Elizabeth and Jan are running for. I'm running for the 2-year unexpired term. Lincoln County Health Center is how it's described on the ballot, but most of us know it as the Health Department on Highway H. The Health Department is funded by our property taxes, and it exists to provide us with a health care safety net. It's for us, the everyday people, the people in the room here. As we are facing a time with ever-increasing cracks in Medicaid and Medicare, the ACA and even people with traditional health insurance are struggling to cover costs that used to be covered by their plans. For these reasons, the Health Department is more important than ever in providing vaccinations and various lab testing. The Health Department provides resources for pregnant women and infants, as well as preemptive care for senior citizens. As a board member, I will be an active, reliable advocate in making sure that the Health Department remains true to its mission of helping the working class access services when needed. On the April 7th ballot, my name is Margaret Ferguson Arrigo, 3 names, and I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
All right, moving on to Lincoln County Arthur E. School District Director Christine Hicks.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. A little bit about me. I am a newbie here. I moved here about 4 years ago from St. Louis, where I lived all my life. I raised my 2 daughters, who are both living out here as well, with my granddaughter, who goes to a Lincoln County school. Let's see. As you know, no, as you don't know. Sorry, I'm nervous. I have mostly been in the capacity of a support staff, or sometimes leader in different organizations throughout my kids growing up. When my girls were young, with one of them, I did Girl Scout leaders for 7 years. I was a PTO officer at her school, you know, those sorts of things. And then my second one, I did year-round sports manager of all her teams that she was on growing up, and then later on in high school, during her marching band, I was very involved as a band parent. And public schools are vital to our kids, our community, and our economy. First, as kids move through elementary, middle, and finally high school, they acquire tools for their success, both academic and social. It's important that public schools constantly improve those tools to keep our children competitive in the world. Second, Detroit R3 School District is the largest employer in the area. Second to Toyota. Professional jobs and great benefits from that district translate into a healthy atmosphere for our kids to learn and bring that knowledge back into the community and out into the world. And lastly, top-notch public schools like ours bring in families and employers. Those people need homes and restaurants, thereby making our local economy more robust. I look forward to working with the school board on policies that will keep our public schools progressive to propel our kids into successful futures. As an elected board member, those three ideals will guide me in decisions I will be called on to make if I'm elected on April 7th to the school board. I'm Christine Hicks. Thank you.
Christine, I think you took all my papers. Thank you. You're fine. Okay, next we have Old Monroe Fire Protection District for Director Hans Gilmcup.
My name is Hans Glimke. I'm running for District Administrator for the Old Monroe Fire Department. I've been associated with the fire department for just a few years. I started in 1976 as a volunteer fireman. I retired from volunteer fire work in 2020 and was asked to fill a directorship that was incomplete in 2024. I'm currently running for the 6-year position of director. I've seen that fire department go from 2 fire engines to, I believe we have about 6 or 7 now. We now have 2 stations. We have approximately 20 volunteers that are constantly on call, and it's something we have to keep track of. Money-wise, we're not a rich department. We try to get by with what we've got, and we do the best we can. Therefore, I would appreciate your vote, and thank you very much.
All right, coming up next, we have all of our City of Troy political races here. Starting off for mayor, we have Quentin Laws.
Hello, everybody. I wrote my little speech down so I don't wander too much and keep you all here all night. So, for those of you that I haven't met yet, my name is Quentin Laws. I currently serve as the Ward 2 Alderman for the City of Troy, and I'm running to be the next mayor. Like many of you, I grew up here. My grandparents live here on the far side of the county. This is home to me, and I left for the United States Air Force after high school. Served in the Air Force, and when I met the woman that became my wife, I said, let's move back to my home. And so that's what we did. So I love the city, and I choose to live here. I choose to raise my family here. My 2 little sons are back there. And I serve here. I'm the Lincoln County Emergency Management Director. I work for the county commissioners over there. So I work closely with all of our emergency services, and I see the struggles that are happening currently. I've grown frustrated watching the direction that things have gone recently. I think there's too much drama, there's too much noise that makes no sense, and there's not enough real work being done in the city. And so that's why I'm running. I'm not running to argue. I'm not running to create headlines in the newspapers. I'm running to get things done for the people that live here, which includes myself and my family. The people that run for these positions, they live inside the city limits. So my approach is simple. We need controlled but smart growth. The county itself is growing so rapidly. The Census Bureau told us we're at a 14% growth rate. That's wild. We're the fastest growing county in the state of Missouri. Whether we like that growth or not, the question is whether we manage that growth or we allow that growth to manage us. And my argument is currently that growth is managing us, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. So I believe in planning ahead, protecting our infrastructure, roads, bridges, sewers. We have supporting our public services, our safety services, and keeping the small town feel that brought us all here in the first place that we grew up with. We need less drama. Like I said earlier, and we need more work. City government shouldn't feel like a fight constantly. It shouldn't feel like an argument. We shouldn't be scared to come to the city and ask for help. It should feel like progress for those of us that live here. That means we have to work together, focusing on actual solutions and respecting the people that we serve and respecting the people that we serve alongside. So we need open and honest communication with the city. You the people, deserve to know what's happening inside the city, why decisions are being made, and how they actually impact you. No surprises, no backroom confusion, just straightforward answers and leadership. I am a United States Air Force veteran, like I said. I served 15 years in law enforcement after that. My career has been built on service to the people, accountability, and making decisions when they matter the most. That's exactly what I hope to bring to the office of the mayor. At the end of the day, I'll say this election comes down to a very simple question. Do you want more of the same, or would you like to move forward as a city? If you're ready, and I am ready, for city government that focuses on results, respect for the people that serve, and respect for the people that we serve as elected officials, and work every day to make Troy better, I'd be honored to earn your vote for this April election. I have some handouts in the back, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you need. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Quentin. Running against him, we have Joey McCourt here.
How do you follow that? That was awesome. My name is Joe McCourt. I've been a resident of Lincoln County since 2019. My wife and I moved out here. All three of my children live out here in the area. I have 7 grandchildren. So, as Quentin said, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done for the young people. My history is I spent 11 years in the United States Marine Corps, got out in 1997. I worked 6 months at the NASA Lewis Research Center in Cleveland and traveled back and forth on the weekends because it's the only place I could find work. And I started with the current company I'm with, which is Lindy, and I've been there for 30 years. So my job history, basically, what I can bring to the city is reliability, integrity, and as Quentin said about everything that needs to be said, I can't really embellish or anything like that. I just have a desire to bring things into the city that benefit children, because we have a lot of families in this community and it's only growing. And I know that, and what really kind of gets me is on a Friday night when you want to do something with your grandkids, your kids, we have to take all of our revenue down the highway to Wentzville, St. Charles, St. Peters, and we need some of those businesses brought here. Control growth, as Quentin said, but brought here to keep the revenue and keep things for our children to do on weekends. And family, you can make family memories at like a roller skating rink, an ice skating rink. These are things I'm interested in. And something that's just come to my attention recently, I spent some time down in Purdy, Missouri at a camp called Camp Barnabas for disabled young people. and intellectually challenged kids, and it really moved me. And it makes me want to work toward, regardless of who you elect for mayor, it makes me want to work toward developing a sensory center for the children that need it. Our school district does a good job with it, but they need to have something after hours. These are just some things that have been on my heart that I want to try to bring to the city. And if I'm fortunate enough to earn your vote, that's what I intend to do, is bring things to the city that are going to benefit our families, because we're a really big growing community. And I mean, look at all the elementary schools we have in the area. I don't know how many exactly there are, but there's a lot. And I have, like I said, I have 6 grandkids under the age of 7. So it's like activities that we can go do as grandparents with the grandkids on a Friday evening, like go to the roller skating rink, anything like that. Those are the things I'm geared toward, family-oriented activities. And basically, I didn't bring a speech, if you can't tell. I don't really write speeches. I'm not that good at it. I just intend to give 100% at whatever I do. And if I'm elected mayor, I plan to put 110%, 100% into that job, so that it can benefit the community. Because there's nothing for me to gain. I want to do this for the people of Troy, because I love it up here. I moved up here in 2019, like I said, and I love living out here. So that's about all I have, folks. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
For City of Troy, Alderman Ward 2, we have Connor Martin.
A little bit taller, so give me a second here. Good evening, everyone. My name is Connor Martin. I'm running for Ward 2 here in Troy. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised here in Troy. I used to live over on Cooney Boulevard. My parents moved out of town for a little while. Then they bought another house just outside of town on Fairgrounds Road. And when I married my beautiful wife, who's right there in the back, we moved back into town just a few blocks from the old courthouse. I go to Sacred Heart Church. I'm a member of the Knights of Columbus. I do a lot of volunteer work here in the community. I'm also a sheriff's deputy in a nearby county. Now, when I'm going around and I'm knocking doors lately, I hear 2 different thoughts on Troy. One saying we need to encourage growth, we need to bring business, we need to bring houses, et cetera, et cetera. The other saying we need to stop this growth. We're losing our hometown values. Where's it all going? And I got a third one. We can't stop. Troy's growing no matter what. The decision now is what we do with that growth. Now, when I think of Troy, and I think about the identity of Troy, what I think about is the old courthouse up on Main Street. I think of Cooney Boulevard, again, where I was born and raised. I think of Stefanina's, or for the newcomers, the Babylon, or for the newer newcomers, the Honky Tonk. And I think about, well, what makes all those things so thoughtful of Troy? And what I think about is, it's the heart of it. It's all right there on Main Street. It's some Winan Park over there off of Boone Street. It's all the heart of the town. Troy's growing no matter what. We need to encourage that growth to be in the heart of town. We need that growth on Main Street, or at the very least as close to Main Street as we can get. Because if the heart of the town isn't thriving, the rest of the city's dying. All right? So I appreciate y'all's vote on April 7th. If you have any thoughts or want to speak to me at all, I'll be back there on my table. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. For that ward, also, we have George Ferguson.
Hello. I do a little bit of notes, but yeah, I'll try to do some free-handed like Connor did. One thing, I'm glad we got young people in Ward 2, so I'm happy with that. So I'll go. So my name is George Ferguson. I'm a husband of Michaela and my son Shane, and I'm a homeowner since 2015 out in Excalibur Boulevard. So I am also an auto worker. So I'm third-generation auto worker. I talk the talk, walk the walk. My house has a Bedford white water heater. My shoes are USA made, down at Friendly Shoe Store. I could probably have Speed Queen, right? Bought it right in Troy Furniture, that's made in Wisconsin. So I believe that a city government should be spending money locally and USA made always. I take that principle to the UAW Hall. I'm an elected official at the UAW Local 2250. I'm the youngest serving member there, so I'm pretty proud of that. So I have a lot of responsibilities, and I'm not really scared to say what I want, because I work on the factory floor. I work right in fluid fill, and that's called the money line. And if you know anything about the auto industry, we make about one vehicle every, I don't know, minute or so. So it's very demanding, and you got to be able to stand your ground. And I'll definitely stand my ground in my ward, and I'm not afraid to speak on how I need to speak. I believe I'm a family man. I have a loving wife back here, Michaela, and I'm going to take my hometown values and what I have known and what I do in my daily life, I will also do in this ward. Guarantee you that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, George. And lastly, in Ward 2, we have Thomas McDaniel.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Thomas McDaniel. Please don't vote for me. I made a mistake. My current employer would not be happy according to one of our policies. But I would like to get up here and just encourage those who have ran for office, whatever it may be. It's a big responsibility that we may take upon our shoulders to do things rightly and do things the way we ought to. In the Bible, we learn about Adam and Eve, and there's a few things that we have actually inherited from Adam. The first being the sin nature. We're all sinners. We're born that way. That's why God had to send his son into this world to pay for the sins of this world on the cross. And we have the opportunity to put our faith and trust in the work of Jesus Christ to have eternal life. That way we don't have to depend upon our tithe, our church attendance, how good we are. The hard work is done and it's placed upon Jesus' life. And here next week, a couple weeks from now, we're going to celebrate Easter. And that's the whole kit and caboodle right there, is that he rose again. Death is defeated. And the same can be said for me and you. Another thing we have inherited from Adam is the responsibility to have dominion. God has given Adam dominion as we do, to take care of the things in this earth. And it's a big responsibility, and it's not something to be taken lightly. That goes for every sort of leadership that we have available to us. I just want to encourage the youth that are actually trying to get involved. Praise God, we actually do have a government that wants our opinion. You know, you can't say that for any other places in this world. We actually want your opinion. We want you to kind of have a say in what is done. So, you know, use that opportunity to voice your opinion and, you know, run for office, be a part of it, because, you know, leadership has its role, but, you know, we, the people, you know, are accountable just as much as the leadership. I want to thank, you know, the youth and everyone running for mayor. We got a big town. I guess that's an unpopular belief, but as you can tell, I probably have a lot of unpopular opinions. But yeah, just thank you. And I'm very glad to be a part of Troy, Missouri, and to have the opportunity to share my voice, to share my beliefs, and to encourage everyone else to do the same thing. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Thomas. For Ward 3, City of Troy, we have Rachel Dooner.
Hello. I am Rachel Dunard. I'm current Ward 3 Alderman. I have been an Alderman in Troy since June of 2020. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a business owner, an avid volunteer, and a lifelong resident of Troy. I am proud to serve as your Alderman. I enjoy it. I enjoy standing up for you. I enjoy fighting back for you, and I enjoy being the voice for you that you cannot be. I'm not afraid to stand up for what needs to be stood up for. Thank you for being here tonight. I realize that you guys have other things that you could be doing, so I appreciate that you came and you care enough about our community to be here and hear all of us. When I stepped into this role, I made a commitment to lead with integrity, to listen to our residents and take action where it matters most. Not just about change, but to actually do the work. Over the past few years, I've worked very hard to deliver on that promise. I've been a strong advocate for our police department because I believe our community deserves to feel safe and supported. That includes sponsoring a take-home car policy as a practical incentive to help with recruitment and retention, because public safety starts with making sure we have the people and the resources in place. I've also supported efforts that strengthen our neighborhoods, improve communication, and bring more transparency to local government. I've shown up, asked questions, and made sure your voices are part of our decisions being made. I've supported employees by advocating for better retirement, short-term disability, and pay that makes sense. We should invest in our employees to not only help with retention, but because they're invaluable and they truly make our city run day to day. My commitment to this community doesn't stop at City Hall. I've been actively involved in local organizations, the Troy Baseball Club I'm president of. I am a founder of the Wonder League, which is an all-inclusive league for children with disabilities. I am president of the Downtown Business Association. I am past president of the Boone PTO. And I'm sure there might be something else in there. I'll look into it. But it means being present. Your leadership just doesn't be as an alderman. It means being present in your town and being accounted for and being a voice wherever you may be. Sorry. This work isn't always easy. Standing up for what's right, pushing back when something doesn't sit right, and staying focused despite distractions or negativity. It takes resilience, and my resilience has been tested more than it has ever been tested recently. I will always choose to do what's right for this community, even when it's not the easy path, because this isn't about politics for me, it's about people. It's about making sure our neighborhoods are safe, our families are supported, and our community continues to grow in a positive direction. I'm proud of what I've accomplished with everybody I've accomplished it within the last 6 years. But I know there's more work to be done. Currently, I'm working with the Park Hills residents. I'm not standing behind them, I'm standing beside them. I've met with them, we meet, we do things, we're going to figure this out together. I'm asking for your support so that I can continue to serve, continue to advocate, and continue to stand up for Ward 3 and our entire community. Thank you for your time, your trust, and your belief in our future of the city.
Thank you, Rachel. Running against Rachel in Ward 3 is Michael Quezada.
Well, how is everyone doing today? Hi everyone, my name is Michael Casado, and I'm running for Troy Ward 3 Alderman position. I want to first off thank all the local parties for getting us together and making this night happen. Thank you very much. I think it's great when people who may disagree about some things can put those things aside to achieve a common goal for our community. This is exactly why I want to represent you in Ward 3. I come to the table with leadership skills it takes to work with people from all walks of life. After retiring after 29 years from the U.S. Army and in my present job as an operations supervisor in a commercial bakery, I use those leadership skills on an everyday basis. I volunteer my time with the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign Wars, where I also serve in leadership and management roles. Talk about the future for a little bit. I see a bright future for our city. I see a future where the board budgets within the means for a maximum return of investment. I see a future where the board, the mayor, and the city administrator all work together to achieve the needs and goals of our city. I see a future where the leaders of the city treat each other with respect despite our differences on how we need to achieve that goal. I see a future where the employees of the city are happy and proud to come to work and make our city better. I see a future when our city is mentioned positively in the news and social media outlets. I see a future where our city leaders make mistakes, own up to them, learn from them, and move forward. I see a bright future for our city. I see Mike Quesada as an outstanding representative for the city of Troy in Ward 3, and please consider a change for a brighter future on April 7th. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. For City of Moscow Mills Mayor, I have Lisa Meyer.
Hi, my name is Lisa Meyer, and I am honored to be running for re-election as the mayor of Moscow Mills. While I'm unopposed in this election, I do not take that lightly. I am deeply grateful for the trust and support you have placed in me over the past 2 years. And while this election may not be contested, I would still sincerely appreciate your support and your vote as a way to show your confidence in the work we've done and the direction we're heading in our city. Serving this community is not a responsibility, it's a privilege. I truly love this job, and every day I remain committed to doing what is best for our city and for the families who call it home. Since taking office, my administration is focused on meaningful progress. We are strengthening economic development, improving infrastructure and maintenance, and continuing to improve and support our police department and enhance public safety. And that progress is showing in real, measurable ways. Last year alone, the city approved permits for 141 new residential units. We are currently working with 9 developments that are in all different phases, from plat approval and site planning to installing infrastructure and actually constructing homes. Many of these developments began prior to my administration, while others are more recent. But once they are fully completed, they will represent the potential for nearly 1,000 housing units, which could support approximately 3,000 residents in our city. Today, the city serves 1,640 residential customers, representing an estimated population of 5,166 based on the average household size. We've welcomed 7 new businesses to our city, and looking ahead, we continue to see growth on the horizon, including another office building, 3 restaurants, 3 convenience gas stations, a bank with additional 4 spaces beside it, a plaza with an additional 8 spaces for businesses, and more opportunities yet to come. Our residents supported the passage of the use tax in April of 2025. We've received $63,349 in 2025, and so far this year we received $71,351 for a total of $134,701, and this has significantly helped our city. When I took office, there were significant challenges that needed attention, and we worked diligently to address those issues, establish stronger systems, and move our city forward with accountability and purpose. From day one, I have been committed to transparency in government, and that commitment remains unchanged. I believe you deserve open communication, honest leadership, and responsible decision-making. Most importantly, I understand that every tax dollar spent, or every dollar spent by the city, belongs to the taxpayers. I take that responsibility seriously and will continue to make thoughtful, strategic decisions that protect your investment in our community. I also want to be very clear about something. This job, it's not a one-person job. The progress we've made is the result of a team effort. It takes dedicated city employees, committed elected officials, and the support of a community to move a city forward. I don't accomplish anything by myself. The success we're seeing comes from people working together and supporting one another and staying focused on the goals we've set for our city. That is how we will continue to meet expectations and keep moving in the right direction. We're not just growing, we're growing the right way. Thank you for your continued trust and support. I look forward to continuing to the work that we've started and building an even stronger future together.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, for City of Moscow Mills, Alderman Ward 2, Liz Streckfus.
Hi, I'm Liz. I am a mom of two. My husband and I have been married for about 9 years, and we are actually currently working on becoming a foster family here in Lincoln County. I absolutely love Moscow Mills. It's a really special place, and all the people here are so wonderful, and I would love to help keep this such a special place. I'm someone who asks questions, I look into things, and really I want to be a voice for the community. So I'd really appreciate your vote in April. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. All right, for City of Silex, Alderman at Large, Steve McDowell.
Good evening, everyone. I'll make this short and sweet. I've been a resident of the city of Lincoln County most of my life. It was only from 1978 to 1982 I didn't live in Lincoln County. I was born and raised in Silex. I live just a mile west of town right now, or did when I grew up. Anyway, I'm running for Board of Alderman. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy helping. And I'm going to stress to everybody, and I know not many people are from Silex area, but the importance of voting. It's a right that we have as American citizens. Exercise your right to vote. I'd appreciate the votes for me, but if you can't, just vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. So that's all the candidates I have on my list. You have one to my left and right here that sacrificed their time, so our other candidates have more time to speak. Appreciate that, guys. So off of that, we have our propositions. Prop 1, we have Eric Tapley here to speak for that, I believe.
Thank you for having me tonight. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Eric Tapley. I'm the director at the Lincoln County Highway Department that's just down Highway 8 here. I'm a lifelong resident of Lincoln County, and I've worked for the department for 29 years, working my way up to become director. What you have on the ballot this year is Proposition 1. It's a 0.5% sales tax for road and bridge. It's a renewal. It's not a new tax. It's just a continuation of what you're currently paying. This tax was originally passed in 1996 and started getting collected April of 1997. This tax produces a little over $3 million for our department and over $600,000 for the Ellsbury Special Road District. That equates to about 40% of our budget and 60% of theirs. In the last 30 years, we've asphalted or paved and upgraded almost 230 miles of road in Lincoln County and built over 60 bridges. Many other safety improvements and other things. So all we're asking is for your consideration for another 10 years, because there is a sunset on our tax. That's another thing. I feel like it makes us accountable to you, the voter, to be a good steward of the money. And if you want to check out any projects we have or what we're using that money for, go to the Lincoln County Highway Department website. All of our current projects are on there. And we do a lot of updates on Facebook, and we try to be as transparent as we can so you, the voter, know exactly what we're doing day to day at all times. So like I said, once again, Prop 1 is just a renewal of an existing 0.5-cent sales tax. Thank you.
And for Proposition L's, Nick.
Proposition Ls is a 49-cent tax levy for Silex Community and the Silex School District operating levy. The state mandated in Senate Bill 727 that we have to have $40,000 minimum salary for all certified staff. And that leaves us a little short. So like we're currently at $35,900 and we have to meet that minimum of $40,000 and it's already in place. On top of that, in the next 2 years, it's going to continue to rise for teachers that have a master's degree plus 10 years. Next year is going to be at $47,000. And the next after that year is going to go to inflation rate. Last year's inflation rate, if you didn't know, is about 2.7. So that's going to continue, and that 40,000 will then go to inflation as well. So it's only going to increase for us, and we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, of course. You know, Troy School District and Winfield School District in the counties. You know, we're significantly behind them, and as they continue to grow, in their tax, so our school district still, we're at a total levy of 4.01. Troy School District, as an example, is 4.7. So we're still going to even be below that, and we feel like that's going to be enough money to support that state mandated, which is not mandated by me, it was state mandated, signed by the governor, who did not give us the funding is being withheld from the state level to support that at the local level. So that's what we're here to do. So.
Thank you, Nick. So all I have, Julie or Sarah, either one of you guys want to talk on economic development? Good. All right. Rick? Nope. You can go ahead if you want to.
Talking about smart growth. Julie's on enough shot. Like Quinn said, it's going to happen to you if you don't have to hit first, all right? I know my crowd. I know that I've been up here for several years, showing you PowerPoints, talking about the numbers. So if I'm not able to impress you in the years of discussing the challenges facing this community to protect our liberty, the numbers aren't going to impress you. They're not. But the numbers that are important are this, is that Lincoln County's growing, as we all know that. There's over 20,000 more people here in Lincoln County today than there was 20 years ago, and we have fewer deputies. There's more people in our unincorporated area than there is in all of Warren County. Yet today, a deputy could leave Lincoln County, which has happened recently, go to work in Warren County, and make almost $20,000 more in just salary. We're not talking about retirement. We're not talking about benefits. The 3 pillars. And we don't compete with none of that. The only thing that we have to offer here in Lincoln County is the culture and the mission. We try to provide the best working culture for a community that we love. And to give the people an opportunity to work in a mission, protect a community that they call home. That's why they're here. Every deputy I look at as a patriot. Liberty, your liberty, my liberty, requires protection. I haven't heard it today, but I'm going to mention it. This year is 250 years since our Declaration of Independence. If you go to the Capitol in Jefferson City, you go to the grand entrance, you look up at a 13-foot statue of Thomas Jefferson, Jefferson City. Now in Missouri, he's the father of the Louisiana Purchase. But he's also the author of the Declaration of Independence. And you know what he thought? Is that communities like ours, it's still a big, small town, but he said they're all little republics. And the strength of the nation depends on the strength of our communities. And the strength of our community depends on how we protect our liberty. And without safety and security, you have no liberty. None of the rights that God gave you is sustainable without safety and security first. And those deputies that are out there, we can't do this alone. The law enforcement job of Lincoln County is bigger than one agency. We have local partners, we have state partners, regional partners, and federal partners that help us get the job done for this community. But the deputies hold up a unique and foundational part of our community that nobody else is doing. They're in our courts. They're securing our jail. They're protecting our school. By God, if you got to go to prison, it's the deputy that's going to take you there. People are wanting to come to Lincoln County because it's one of the safest places in the St. Louis metro area. Our governor's doing everything he can to attract people to the state of Missouri. Where do you think they're coming? The last time I dropped a prisoner off at a state prison, I said, we're from Lincoln County. You know what the gate guard told me? Take me with you. Now, I don't know if he's heard how great Lincoln County is, or he thinks he's in a bad spot. But that's what he said. So I just want to tell you that the challenges that we're facing here in Lincoln County is about protecting our liberty. How did Warren County, how did they do it? How did they offer their deputies that much? Because they got to where we're trying to get almost 10 years ago. Pike County is where we're asking you to get. We just need a level playing field. We're not trying to compete with first-class St. Charles County. Right now in Lincoln County, we can't compete with a third-class county. I want to let you know that we're this close. We're this close to the generations that started this community. We, all of us, was born underneath a blanket of protection that was not of our making. People ever since have been cutting holes in it, and you, me, all of us, we're trying to stitch it up. That's what we have to do to maintain our liberty. Security is fragile. Those veterans out there, you've been overseas, you've seen what other communities look like. You've seen what the world can look like. I think we take for granted America. It is truly still the shining city on the hill for the entire world, regardless of what the media likes you to think. I've been told that by people I work with from other countries. God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. All right, don't think I forgot anybody. Speak now if I did. All righty. If you candidates want to stick around, we'll have a little bit more of a social hour. So you guys can go around and talk to all that. Appreciate all you guys for coming out tonight. Really means a lot. Love to have more voters here as well. I think that's all we got tonight. Thank you.
Sorry. I'm trying to stay away. I'm sorry. Trust me, it's like
Frank. Just a second.
Before y'all leave, actually, Joe Hyman asked me to come up here, or just directed me to come up here. I'd just like to let y'all know that what the sheriff was talking about as far as liberty and stuff, there's an exhibit up at the courthouse about America 250. And it's got pictures of all of the signers of the Declaration of Independence and some events and women of the Revolutionary War era. So if you go down to the courthouse, what you'll see is it's on the main floor along that when you first walk through from front to back, and it's also up in the courtroom. So if you go there, those pictures will have a biography next to them. And in that biography, there's a QR code. And that QR code, if you've got a smartphone, you flip it on it, and that what happens is the video comes to life, and that person, like Thomas Jefferson, tells you their story about how they, were born, what they did, how they came about to be part of the American Revolution, signing the Declaration of Independence, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to spread the word so that I want Lincoln County to know not just Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, John Hancock, John Adams, Sam Adams. I want people to know Caesar Rodney from Delaware, who rode 80 miles through a storm, not the whole storm, but had to ride 80 miles. And he was like one of 3 representatives representing Delaware, and they were split in their vote as far as independence went. And if he hadn't rode that 80 miles to make one vote, if you don't think that one vote makes a difference, his vote did. So there's like 55 of the, no, there's 55 portraits up there right now. There's like the Battle of Trenton.
Can I have everybody's attention, please? Could you say that last part again? That was pretty about the one vote and ride and everything.
Oh, okay.
You know, you're trying to speak, and we want to make sure everybody hears.
Sorry. The gentleman I was talking about was a representative from Delaware that signed the Declaration of Independence, and his name was Caesar Rodney. And as well as all these people that we know, like Thomas Jefferson, I want people to know these people that sacrificed so much. They put their lives, their honors, their sacred honor under death warrant. And this gentleman, he was sick, wasn't feeling good, and he had to ride 80 miles to make that vote on July 4th, because in Delaware, those 3 representatives, there was a split vote as far as the people or the representatives, as far as how they were going to vote to have independence, to declare independence from Great Britain. So that one vote made the difference. And just like, you know, all these people that have come out here for their positions, one vote makes a huge difference. And just, I'd like y'all to maybe just pass it around, go up to the courthouse, check out the exhibit, and just delve more into history and what we have to be thankful for. It's at the courthouse, the Main Street, the historic courthouse, yeah.
How long is it going to be here?
It's going to be there till September, I hope. That's what the commissioners had told me to. I definitely wanted it through the 4th, but it's till Constitution Day.
Thank you.